This video is meant to be an add-on or addendum to the last video I did, which was about accountability in relationships. So just to summarize, the accountability in relationships applies to everyone, where instead of using energy to blame other people for how you feel or what's going on, you use any kind of event, suffering, or uncomfortable of any kind to really look at yourself and what's triggered and your part of the whole situation. So I'm adding an asterisk to that, a large asterisk to that, because in reflection, in my own accountability, and from the perspective of the individual doing the contemplation or awareness of the event, the big piece that I left out was non-acceptance. And what I mean by that is, for me to assume everyone's accountability is forcing a sense of awareness that may or may not be there. And that's my responsibility. So what does that really mean? It's like, if I see where someone else is stuck, but they don't see it, then what's the possible value of telling them that they're stuck? Maybe say it once, gently, but the stuckness is a blind spot, by its nature. So what that always comes back around to is, if it's me or anybody, whoever it is, if you are the one who sees the sticking point, where someone's stuck, where someone's being stubborn or willfully ignorant, and no judgment when I say that, but by their own belief system, their own agenda, whatever it is, in whatever way that someone else might be stuck and you see it and they don't, then the responsibility of resolving that relationship and healing is yours. And that's just the way it has to be. You can cry about it, you can complain that it's not fair, which I did, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. Because in the big picture, you have to say to yourself, I have to say to myself, what do I really want? What I really want is to have happy and healthy relationships. So, if I'm going to be honest and have integrity with that desire to have happy and healthy relationships, if I see that that there is some kind of underlying pattern, blind spot with somebody that I'm having a conflict with, I can either put the responsibility on them where they may or may not accept it, or I can take the responsibility on myself and do what I need to do, which to get what I want, which is a happy and healthy relationship. Now, I was very vague in the last video, but really what it came down to for me in this situation was to really humble myself, and it was a matter of humbling myself in the more superficial social sense, but also a humbling of experiencing or allowing the some really deep wounds to be seen. They were coming up anyway, but to allow them to be seen and to talk about it. It's always a little bit uncomfortable to talk about things that are maybe a little bit embarrassing or painful, and so that was a big part of my experience was a big conflict happened. There was suffering, and I really felt like I was in the position to make it better, because it didn't seem like the other parties were really interested, or even had that awareness, or whatever that case might be. Um, and the thing about it is also, it's not just a matter of, oh, I'm so great, and I fixed everything, because just like all conflicts take multiple parties, the healing does as well. It doesn't always have to, but that tends to be the case, because whether or not people want to outrightly talk about it or admit it, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to have peaceful, loving relationships. And so what I found immediately in the expression of my own vulnerability and humility was direct reciprocation, and that was really nice. It was really nice to see that, immediately after my apology, and you know, expressing my side of how I saw things, there was a immediate reciprocation, and there's a lot of understanding that came out of that whole situation. So so the main point of this is, when you have the ability, the gift, the honor, of being able to see where something is stuck, take that as a blessing, and as an honor to have, the authority to make those changes that need to be made, and also realize that, humbling yourself, and seeing things from in the wide angle, from the big picture, to really get what you want, is going to cost you a bit of your ego, and that's a good thing. So thanks for listening.